cats and kittens, Orewa Jose, Yoshku. Back in the crisis corner for C3 Weekly. It's been quite a while. I've been distracted dealing with stuff and tending to my own business, but we're back with C3 Weekly. We're going to be, but we're back with C3 Weekly. That's the point. So, this episode, which is episode 7 of C3 Weekly, special announcement. And I'll show you. C3 Comics has joined Webtoon. And I will show you. Yay! So C3 Comics is on Webtoon. So those of you who are on or use Webtoons, read your comics off of Webtoons, you can find us there. Intrepid is there. And also, you will find Intrepid written by myself, Jose Loetti, and For Armageddon written by my C3 comic co-owner, Alan Cole. We are on Webtoons. So it's a platform that a lot of people are using, especially for their phones. But you can read it, you can use it however you want, off of your PCs, your phones. That's your business. The point is, we're there. And it's a different reading experience. I'm not sure how much of this I can share. I mean, proprietary speaking, we own, it's our books, but I'm not going to push my luck. So, it's a different reading experience. It reads vertical. It offers a different reading experience than the floppy. I'll tell you that for sure. So if you haven't gotten into either For or Intrepid yet, you might want to check us out on Webtoon and subscribe. Definitely subscribe and like and all of that. So we have preamble. The first issue of Intrepid is on Webtoons, and it takes 4 parts. Again, you'll see the reading experience. It gets chopped up into 4 parts to get that first issue in. Plus, we have a little supplementary information on there. So it's in the early stages. So if you want to jump in now. If you're a fan of manga, you're a fan of comics, definitely jump in and check out Intrepid on Webtoons, also 4. So there's that. Let me see what else is on the agenda. Now, I am going to endeavor, to the best of my ability, to start Manga Mondays on September 21st. And every subsequent Monday, I'll be doing a review of certain manga / comics that I'm enjoying. And I'm going to get back to that in a second because my 5th bullet point relates to that. But I'm going to endeavor to do a weekly rundown of what I'm reading, be it American comics or manga strictly. I'll get you some input on stuff that I'm enjoying. Hopefully I can get a co-host for that because I hate doing stuff by myself, but I'll fly solo if I have to. It's not a huge issue for me. But I can find guests, so that's not a problem either. Anyway, Dave. Anyway, so there's that. Next on the agenda, we also have, speaking of co-hosts, I'm also endeavoring. And by the way, I'm wearing my old school Washington Redskins gear to represent the Washington football team, who just beat down the Philadelphia Eagles for their first win as the Washington football team, or whatever they want to say. So hail to the Washington football team. Yeah. Back to my point. The 3rd installment of the Star Wars Post-Mortem, dealing with the We did the prequels, the original, and now we're doing the sequels. I'm going to endeavor to get that done in the next week or two, depending on if I can get the boys' schedules together so we can finish off our postmortem on the Star Wars series. It should be quick. It should be quick. I'll leave it at that. I won't give anything away. So I'm just scheduling out or letting you know some things that are going to be going on in the next few weeks. I really want to get regimented and schedule out the channel and give you a program of sorts. Like Manga Mondays is going to be on the program every Monday. Boom, it should be there to give you something specific to look forward to. In terms of the Star Wars post-mortem, it's a one-off. So I'm going to try to get that done on a weekend or a Friday and have that available for you on a Saturday. Just hopefully on a Saturday, that should be fine. So that's coming up. What else do we have? We have C3 Comics is heading back to Kickstarter. The specifics I'm going to save for my co-hosts and disseminate that to you together, and hopefully have that done no later than a week from now. This time's getting tight, but hopefully we're shooting for November, either the beginning or the middle of November. We're going back to Kickstarter, but the specifics as to what we'll be kickstarting will be revealed momentarily. So hold on for that. What else? And lastly, I personally, Jose, am getting back into comics as a customer in the sense of buying mainly American comics, which is what I cut my teeth on. You know, I've been mainly into manga for the last 10 or so years because I got ran out of the American market because of the whole event-driven nonsense and the short runs of artists that I really love on certain books. The downfall of certain books, from my standpoint, some of them kind of went south and stayed there for quite some time, so I kind of gave up on them, which in retrospect was kind of cold, but whatever. It's done is done. So what I've done is I haven't been to comic shops lately, which is another problem. I used to hang out at comic shops. It was some of y'all out there might remember another universe or another world comics in Georgetown, in Washington, D.C. There were a few. I used to hang out at Jeppy's in Silver Spring. I think now I don't know what they're called right now, but I haven't been there in a while. The number of comic shops have lessened over the years. I still know where a few are, but I haven't been to any really. I've just been ordering. So what I've done recently is I've ordered issues 93 through 99 of Joker War and Batman, which I figured would be a decent jump on point for that series. I used to get Batman. Oh, man, come on. I used to be all over Batman, Spider-Man, X-Men, Batman, Spider-Man, X-Men. I would say Daredevil a little bit, but I'm going to show you some examples. A lot of Peter David stuff, Hulk, Aquaman, blah, blah, blah. I got to get back into something, you know. As a creator, I don't want to create in a vacuum. I want to see what other people are doing, especially more recent efforts, even though they are tied up in these ever-shifting continuities, which no longer make any sense. But you got to check it out. So what I need from you, give me a hot title or a hot artist that you think is worthy of following, that I can jump back into this thing full speed. So far, like I say, what I've ordered is Joker War, Batman 93 through 99. I haven't got into the tie-ins. I'm not trying to do tie-in nonsense. That's what got me out of this. You know, all of these weird events and their tie-ins. I can't do tie-ins at this moment. I ordered the trade of House of X Powers of 10, and also I got the Fantastic Four X-Men, I think, trade. I think it was just 4 issues. Might have been 4 or 6. I can't remember. But I got it. You know, Amazon, whatever. So that's going to be to get my toes wet, you know, jump back into the pool. But let me know, as far as you're concerned. I don't care if it's the big 3 or the big 2 or whatever, indie, whatever. Now, as far as my taste, and this stuff is dated, I grant you that. I just a handful of stuff that I just happen to have on hand. Like, you know, old school, Milestone, Hardware. If I go old school, I can go for Hardware. Chuck Dixon, Nightwing, old school. Like I say, Peter David. It didn't come out too good, the green screen. Anyway, Aquaman. Again. Aquaman, Peter David. Remember Young Justice? Also Peter David. Remember Kevin Smith's run on Green Arrow? Quiver? That was cool. If you really want to go back, X-Men, Extinction Agenda. Extinction Agenda. John Byrne, She-Hulk. Oh my God. She-Hulk was going to get on. Speaking of John Byrne. My heart beats for John Byrne. This is the best stuff ever. Hey, look, The Trial of Reed Richards, you are lacking if you have not read this. There's something wrong with you. That's real talk. There's something wrong with you. But I recommend that. But that's old school. Or if you really want to go back, hold on 1 second. Let me see. I want to say this is Roger Stern. Yep. Roger Stern, John Romita Jr., old school Spider-Man. The whole green screen thing's killing the visuals. Look, you need this in your life. This is old. This is when Spider-Man meant something. My God, the art, the story. Roger Stern, John Romita Jr. Or everybody remembers this one. Remember when JLA came back? This is good stuff. Good stuff. And again, my man Peter David, one of my favorite issues of X Factor, which brings me to another point. Like I say, what got me out of comics was mainly runaway events. And I mean, events are fine, but event-driven books seem to escalate, and then at some point, you do have to level off. You know, these books represent essentially the lives of certain characters, and if you're Batman and you have Contagion, and then you have what was the next event after that? Whatever. Gotham City is constantly being destroyed. Then you had, like recently, City of Bane, and now you have Joker War. Who would live in that city? Or it's like it's too much stuff being piled on top of everything. of each other, and there's no break. And when you look at a chapter or an issue of X Factor, like Peter David was a king of just the breaking an arc, just giving you a status quo or a day in the life type story. You know, sometimes you have to do that, and they don't do that much anymore. It's just you hop from event to event with no break, you know. So essentially, there's no contrast in these people's lives. They just proceed from bad to worse to worse to worse. And then you can't really, when one artist leaves the book and the next one decides that he or she wants to create their next masterpiece, you know, there's no connective tissue. There's nothing to really bind them together because the editors are not really focusing on a true continuity. You know, there's just events that don't have anything to do with it. Then you get your retcons and your, you know what I'm saying? So that's what got me out of it. And I get into manga. I started reading manga, and it's like one cat writing a book for like 10, 15 years. And I'm like, oh, that's tight. I can deal with that, you know, because I was used to Peter David doing a 10-year run on something, or whoever, you know, Roger Stern being on Spider-Man for 5, 6 years, you know, Burns, Claremont doing X-Men for 5, 10, 15 years, which is, you know, a long stretch by today's standards, but it's like I say, it's what I grew up with. But I'm flexible, and I'm trying to get back into the game, and I'm trying to give shorter stints, you know, with shorter stints by writers and artists. I'm trying to give that a chance, and this rotating continuity, I'm trying to give that a chance too. I'm trying to be flexible. So there's that. So if you got any recommendations as to what I might, based on my tastes that I've shown you to this point, if you got anything you think that I might get into or like, or that you just want to recommend, doesn't have to be DC, Marvel, it could be indies, because I got a metric ton of stuff that I got from Kickstarter, because I don't just use Kickstarter, I support Kickstarters, as many of you know, support the arts. So give me suggestions, and I'll use them, and I'll try to get back into the thing that I love, which is comics. So that's C3 Weekly for this week. I hope everybody is doing okay. Take care of yourselves. Wash your hands. Wear your mask. Wear your masks. Look out for each other. Take care of each other. And I'll see you next week. This should probably air Thursday morning or Thursday afternoon. So until next time, stay loose.